My next end vision was at Cozair Children's, my green Explorer parked right near the back door. The engine running because it was cold. It was November, December. The engine running to keep the car warm. Going into the hospital lobby, taking my baby in blankets, bringing her into the car, putting her in the child protective seat, and driving home. That was my end vision. You got to have an end vision. You got to decide what you're going for. And it's not a target, it's not an objective, it's not a goal, it's an end vision. Something you feel, you can taste, you can be involved with. I saw it before it happened. They talk in The Secret, they talk about, law of attraction, and if you come to your mailbox and imagine there'll be checks there instead of bills, it will happen. Well, I don't know if that's true. But I think what they're saying is 5 years later, 10 years later, if you do the things necessary. And that's why I say the necessary steps to make it a reality. And that was the tapes and picking the right doctor and getting to know the nurses and everything else. My Parkinson's. How did I envision my Parkinson's? I envisioned 10 years after I was diagnosed that I would be the slowest progressing Parkinson's person ever in the annals of medical science. Okay. Did it work? So far. And that's what I envisioned. And I felt what it felt like. Let me tell you a more personal story. Mr. Success, right? Graduated summa cum laude from university. Went to Cornell Law School. Graduated in the top 25% of the class. Successful career, ended up the top lawyer at Steel Technologies. 3 years ago, I looked at my life behind the curtain, as the Wizard of Oz reference. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. I was not happy in my marriage. My kids didn't even eat dinner with us. They went down to their respective rooms. I didn't like the house I was in. I didn't like the friends that I had. I didn't like the job I was doing. Didn't think it was purposeful enough. And I wasn't healthy. Wow. I envisioned living 2 years later in a house in the woods in Shelby County, doing inspirational talks before groups like this, teaching more at University of Louisville, and writing a book. I said to my therapist, and I don't have a problem saying I have a therapist, a lot of issues in the world. I said to my therapist, it's unbelievable, but we talked about this 2 years ago. And she said, you were there 2 years ago. You were there. You knew what it was like, and you got there because you knew what it was like. That's an end vision. That's an end vision. And that's what I ended up doing.